Alrighty then, here we go. Game number 6. Bact v Fang Zhao Kui. Fang here in blue. Spoiler alert coming in 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Fang here in blue has won 3 games in this series already, so he is up 3-2 versus Bact as we speak. He's done so with massive aggression. He's gone knights with +2 in the early Castle Age behind feudal towers several times, so we could see something aggressive from him again. This is a Huns mirror on Arabia. Bact, though, has gotten in some good shots of his own, and he's getting a little bit more aggressive. Fang has come forward and tried to lame boars in almost every game, so maybe we will see Bact go and maybe try to grab one of his opponent's boars in the beginning of this one. We will wait and see. Okay, Bact's map is decent. He can block in one side there. He'll have safe berries. His TC won't be harassed too much. Can block in here as well with a little bit of walling. He's got some work to do, but he can certainly wall in his whole base and have a ton of safe resources. The problem is he's going to need to get that done soon because we've seen Fang come forward with towers several times, and this would be a really juicy spot to tower. Tower here and here would be really, really bad for Bact. It'd be really difficult for him to turn off that aggression. Okay, blue player scout is forward here early. We'll keep an eye on him. Looks like he's going to be running toward maybe stealing a sheep, maybe stealing a boar from Bact here early. Bact, however, has sort of, he's thrown the first punch in this game. He's going to steal 2 sheep on the front of Fang's area. Bact's modus operandi, his MO, is that he usually runs sheep to the corner. Since these sheep are so far on the front, I think he's going to try to get them back home. He may take a bit of a circuitous route because he probably doesn't want the blue scout here to find those sheep on his way home. Look at this, though. Fang's going to find a boar if he wants it. It looks like he does want that boar. So he's going to grab a boar, get a couple hits in on it. Looks like 3 hits there, and he'll start bringing it back home. Bact's going to have his sheep on the way there. He's going to split them in half. I wonder if he did that on purpose to decrease the chance of both of them getting stolen. Nonetheless, Bact is stealing more sheep in the corner of Fang's area, and this sheep I think is certainly going to the far corner. But I could be wrong. 4 on wood for the blue player. He's done that several games. It doesn't necessarily mean he's going to drush. Bact scout is in. He can target down a non-loomed vill, or he can go after this boar. I think Bact will steal that boar, I would guess. He's almost here in time to lame that vill, but not quite. So Bact will try to steal his opponent's boar. Meanwhile, though, Fang has let the boar turn around. He's going to re-aggro it and take it in, but he has lost a little bit more HP than he needed to. Got to keep an eye on him here. He's stolen some boars, but he's also had some imperfect boar lures, losing his scout in one of the games. Certainly love his aggression, but he certainly doesn't want to lose his scout here. That would be bad news, Bears. Bact is going to steal the boar of Fang, and he will eventually get that home. It's going to be a very long and slow boar lure, but we will at least see Bact a little bit ahead because he's run 1 sheep to the relatively to the corner of the map. Does look like he was able to steal both sheep from the blue player. So right now, Fang is going to be behind a bit. Oh, sweet Jesus. Fang loses another scout to a boar. Oh boy. He's going to lose his scout to a boar here early, so Bact is going to be +1 boar and plus a few sheep on Fang this game. Not only are you going to play one of the best players of all time in AOC, Fang, you're also going to have to play him without a boar and a couple of your sheep in the early game. Good luck. Good luck. Okay, loom in for the blue player. I'm not sure if he got that because he thought he was going to get lamed or what, but early loom for him, and he is just so far behind in this game food-wise. Look at Bact, just sitting pretty back at home with all these extra sheep, luring in his opponent's boar as we speak. Seems to be a pretty flawless boar lure there. Let's watch him drop it right under the TC perfectly. Can't beat that, guys. You just can't beat it. Okay, so Fang has been aggressive every game. He's going to be short a little food here, but he will probably be aggressive once again. Barracks coming down, 3 villagers starting to work their way to somewhere. Probably this deer patch. He's probably hurting for food. I can't imagine he's sending vills forward already. Has not clicked up yet. Has taken the extra 10 gold, though, so we may see him drush. We should see him drush here. As we speak. That drush is going to have to be really, really effective for him to get back into this game. Right now, he's way behind, Bact pushing some deer. And we will wait for this one to get even more exciting. Mill coming down for the blue player. 4 vills out there on deer, so he is committed to a clandestine mill. There's only a couple of deer out there, but he can also come over and take these deer if he wants to. Needed to do something rather desperate there. He does need the food eco. He's going to be going with a relatively aggressive, I would think, a decent time to the Castle Age here. Get a little extra food, take a little extra time in the Dark Age, get up on maybe 25, 26 fills. We'll see. Okay, blue player roaming forward with a couple militia. Bact will have a barracks down. He can wall himself in there if he sees that drush in time. He's not going to see it. Doesn't have any vision there. So it looks like those militia will go ahead and walk into this zone, put a little pressure on this Vil. Bact did loom before clicking to feudal, so he'll be fine against a 2 or 3 militia drush here, especially considering that the blue player's scout is out of play. You can pretty much turn and run on that micro and get back to the TC with a low HP Vil, because there's no scout to help him out. Bact's scout will get into the fray here, so we will see Fang slowly get whittled down here. One thing, though, that he did well, he slowed that barracks build down a bit. That's going to slow Bact from pressuring him just a little bit longer. Bact will drop a stable relatively close to his TC, so his Vils can't be pressured too much, and he will probably pump out a couple of scouts here early and try to hit his opponent. This is really shaping up well for Bact, but he still does need to he needs to find a way to protect these resources in the long game. Either using scouts aggressively and making Fang play defense this game, or maybe towering here, or TC eventually would be fantastic. Nonetheless, we'll keep an eye on how Bact deals with that problem. Fang clicking up on 28 Vils, so Fang is going to be able to, oops, there we go again. Fang is going to be able to, hopefully on his part, click up relatively quickly to the Castle Age. We'll see. I mean, he may need some feudal units here just to stabilize the ship. Bact's eventually going to either clean up this drush or he's going to disregard it. Looks like he will disregard it here with the first couple of scouts. So the initial scout and the first scout that Bact has built will run in here to the eco. They're going to focus on a Vil for a moment, but really they're just drushing, right? Really, they're just trying to annoy these Vils. More militia coming out for the blue player Fang. Very interesting. So Fang's 4 Vils on gold might be there to invest in men-at-arms and help him get to castle. I don't know. 4 Vils on gold, more militia coming right now. Blue player seems invested in some more militia and maybe eventually men-at-arms. Scout going down for Bact, still no Vils down for Fang. Fang has brought his militia back here just in time, and he's doing a good job to keep Bact annoyed. 4 Vils there that were on the deer patch will head back home for the time being. They will drop in archery range right away. So Fang may be identifying that he needs a few units to protect himself. Bact using those scouts early, but not getting very much done with them. Not getting much done, and now Fang will come forward with 6 militia. He will come back to back zone. Double archery range right away for him. Spearmen are out. Blacksmith coming down, so the blue player is not going to go quickly to the Castle Age. He's going to be really invested in fighting this feudal army from Bact, and so far it's paying off. So far, Bact has built a bunch of scouts and really doesn't have a huge advantage on his opponent. He hasn't picked any Vils. He does have quite a bit more food in the bank. Okay, blue player coming forward with what is now men-at-arms. He will be gated out. Nope, not quite. That gate has not been started yet. So the blue player will get in with the men-at-arms. He'll get in with 1. Man, this could be bad for him. He's going to turn around and fight, and Bact's going to wall him out just like that. Okay, so Fang's aggression here is going to, it's still going to be able to get in. He just has to walk the long way around the map. That's going to give Bact some time to get more archers out. You can see he's gone double range here. He has quite a few villagers on gold. This gold pile would be under pressure if those men-at-arms had walked straight in, but they didn't. They're walking around the long way, and a couple of archers along with this meat shield should really be able to clean up these men-at-arms. Bact will micro. He will kite away from this. Continue to get shots in on these men-at-arms. 2 more archers on the way. I do think that aggression is going to get cleaned up here pretty easily. More units coming forward for the blue player. Now he's got a couple spears. He's got a couple of archers, a couple of skirmishers as well. So he's invested in aggression here. Bact has a little bit of resource in the bank, but Fang does not have much at all. He's putting it all in right now for feudal aggression. The problem is, Bact seems to be really in a stable position. This army that he has in defense is pretty sizable. As long as he can pick off these spears early in this engagement, the scouts should be able to go to town on those archer units. We shall see if he can pick those spears. Looks like he will get a couple good shots in. Scouts will get a few pokes from the spears, but eventually Bact will clean this up, and he's going to start walling in that side. So the blue army coming forward with a lot of aggression. Fang here has been aggressive every single game. It's paid off in some of them, but in this one, it's looking like it's going to be a real uphill battle for him. Mass transition of villagers up to this top wood line right now. Fang is starting to drop those walls, maybe to add more vills to the gold pile. Right now, he is getting somewhat close to being able to click up, but Bact's going to click up right now. Bact will click up now with a bunch of archers. He has the bigger military. He's walled in on his side, albeit palisaded in, but still walled in on his side, and he is coming forward to maybe put a little bit of pain onto his opponent, Fang. Fang has done a great job in this series to really keep Bact on the defensive. This game, though, being minus that boar early, failing the boar lure, losing his scout, this is looking really tough for him. Bact right now getting really, really brazen with those scouts. He's running in and getting in a hit on the spears from time to time. Really playing chicken with those spears as we speak. Skirmishers and spears, though, are going to probably push this army back. I don't know. Bact here is still running around using the hill advantage. He's microing pretty intensely to try to slow this army down. He will get one of those spears for very cheap, and he will keep his opponent busy really for the entire feudal to castle transition. Bact here has been going up, and his opponent, Fang, has been reinforcing and fighting with a small army here. Fang has really, really spent a lot of time and energy going after the last couple of units that Bact has. Bact will still keep that army alive, albeit all of them on low HP. He will run into the back on this woodline and idle a few vills. So Bact is doing what a lot of players will do in the feudal to castle transition. If you click up first and you can keep your opponent on the defensive with a couple of units, you can often get there to the castle age and wall yourself in, as Bact has done. And, stabilize your economy, establish yourself. You don't want to get hit in that transition because you can't gather resources. Bact right now is spending everything he can as fast as he can, but the fact that he doesn't have to idle any vills is great for him. We saw Bodkin, we saw crossbowmen coming in. We see those crossbows roaming around the map, +2/+1 there for Bact. Roaming around looking for some damage, using the hills. These hills of Fang's base are actually really bad. Now that I've had a chance to see how Bact is going to exploit these hills, they are not good at all. He can fight him on this side. He can kind of camp out and wait for Fang to respond to this army. He can also fight him on that wood line. Very annoying. More archery ranges coming for the blue player. It's a 4-range build. He's going to have Castle Age in momentarily. Maybe add some cav archers into the mix here to equalize the score. But for now, we do see a big feudal army. Fang's got a big feudal army. He's losing villagers. He's down by 4. He's going to be down by more because he's still researching the Castle Age. But maybe Fang can stabilize this. He needs to bait Bact into this TC arrow fire. He's doing a decent job at that right now. He will dwindle a couple of these crossbows down, also drawing Bact into the range of the towers. But here we go. Bact is starting to reinforce with another army, a knight and a couple of cav archers already out. Right now, those are not bloodlined units, but they still are pretty damn beefy. You can see the entire feudal army there focusing down that knight. Takes a little bit of time. So Bact has his opponent fully on the defensive, is up by 9 villagers, is in a fantastic position with cav archers on the way in. Has a slightly smaller military than the blue player, but maybe a higher quality one. No elite skirm for the blue player, so those units, they'll do okay. They'll do okay, but they're certainly not the units that you want with a couple of knights mixed in from Bact. Quite a few crossbows from the blue player here, but they're going to get cleaned up. Low-ish HP, only 35 HP on those fellas. Cav archers seem to be mostly focusing down vills for the time being. It is a 13 villager advantage for Bact, who is slowly but surely squeezing Fang out of this game. Fang is absolutely getting Python squeezed out of this game. Forget about the Viper. Bact is the Python right now. He is just squeezing his opponent slowly but surely, just running in, picking some vills. Does not seem to be too interested in fighting these armies, or at least he wasn't. Now he's going to clean up these crossbows. Cav archers still not bloodlined just yet. Scale barding armor coming for Bact. Still roaming around, keeping the pressure on his opponent, but it looks to me like we could see him transition a little bit. TC coming down, just has one stable right now. Interesting. Scale barding, though, on the way. We shall see what Bact decides to do. Right now, he's taking a fight with a hill advantage against his opponent, which is a pretty decent fight for him, but he will run off from this. There's a lot of skirmishers mixed in there from the blue player. Bact has been spending some time and energy on getting that second TC up and going. He's now going to be up by 14 Vils. Bloodlines is finally in on the way for Bact. I say finally like I could have done it faster, but you know what I mean. It is on the way. University coming down. Ballistics will be in for the blue player soon. That will give him a bit of an advantage in these fights. Will give him a big advantage in these fights, assuming that Bact continues to build Cav Archers. Alright. Units chasing each other around right now. Bact has kept Fang on the defensive the entire game. Fang's got a couple small armies that are starting to roam forward and get a little bit frisky, but chain barding is in. We see 2 stables now down for Bact, so he will start building out some knights. He's got a university of his own, may get ballistics here soon, and it looks to me like Bact is in absolute command of this game. Keeping the attention of his opponent, we have not seen these blue dots on the minimap roam forward really at all since the mid-feudal age. Since Bact clicked up to castle, he has been keeping his opponent on the defensive. He doesn't have as many units as Fang on this front, but he's keeping Fang's entire army busy chasing those Cav Archers. And while they do that, he'll sneak another army of Cav Archers in the back door with a knight or 2 for protection. He'll grab several more villagers. It is now a 30 villager advantage for Bact. Bact absolutely taking this early advantage of having that extra boar and stealing some sheep and ran away with it. This game is GG. We're at 32 minutes in, but there's just no way that Fang climbs back up the hill here. That would be absolutely epic. Fang sees it, we see it. It is GG here in game number 6. Bact and Fang will go into game 7 tied, 3 games apiece. A pretty damn good series here. This one absolutely dominated by Bact, showing why he is one of the very best players in the game. Catch you guys in game 7. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.